the inaugural Origin for the ladies as well, and they got young Origin games for the youngsters playing. It's just massive what they do over there, eh? There's all this drama off the paddock. Dylan Napa trying to make sex tapes and such. There's all of this stuff that gets the media attention a lot more than some of the stuff we talk about that is positive for the game or for the people or for certain communities that are associated with the game. Maybe a Cancer Society week or something like that. They get out there and do it for these kind of organisations. Bugger all exposure here in Aotearoa, what gets covered here is more so the other stuff.
The negatives.
Yes. The negatives in this country. Yeah. I know we are a rugby-mad country, New Zealand. That's a given. But they focus a lot on all the negative. You know, I get sick of that stuff.
Yeah, same.
I really do. Because that's all they seem to focus on here in this country. I don't know about Australia, but in this country, it's all the negative stuff. And anything they can get to have a bit of a bite at the league
yes.
it pisses me off. Does my head in.
Absolutely.
It's like, what about the good stuff?
Yeah.
You know, and this Indigenous thing here is not going to get much coverage, especially from a multicultural side of it, which is sad.
Yeah.
You know, but as soon as someone does something naughty if they're playing in the team or something, man, it hits the bloody headlines, eh? It does my head in.
Yeah. I remember...
Anyway, that's my little rant.
Yes. Well, I remember seeing... I've got a little bit of a rant coming up too. I remember seeing earlier, I think it was either this week or last week, where an Australian rugby player was getting... was it slanted for... I don't know, something... sexual for a video that I think was made. In fact, there's been a number of them that have been coming out. This was actually a Wallabies rugby player, and that came out on the news that I can remember seeing. But because I didn't really pay much attention to it, I can't really remember it. But now I see they're trying to slag off one of the new Black Caps, one of the new cricket players who. You know, and this is just what negativity sort of breeds. Negativity kind of breeds negativity, and it just keeps making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, just starting out at the league here in New Zealand, now they've started to stretch. You know, when I mean league, I mean the league stars over in Australia. Now they're trying to stretch to the league, to the rugby stars over in Australia, and now hence they've come to the cricket stars. I mean, surely something negative will come out about the rugby players too, which is you know, just part and parcel of negativity breeding negativity. Eh? What do you reckon, Rino?
Oh, totally. You know, this whole world, we touched on the end of last year, I think. It's been a monopoly effect of social media, gathering information and media. You know, there's not much really happening around the whole summertime in their eyes, and then they can find information on the slag off on. It just makes good foot traffic in their eyes online, on the TV, radio, anything. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot more negativity, I would guess, coming out, mate. And, oh, well, it'll upset us. We'll have our little 2 cents worth to say.
Yeah, you got a couple of cents worth to throw in now there, JT?
Everyone knows the media back home is driven by the rugby mad. So, look, it's disappointing that Rino touched on it. There's so much positive stuff that the NRL is doing,
That's
and
true.
then they find a videotape or whatever you want to call it of some guy having sex. I mean, what? An NRL player's not supposed to have sex.
Yes.
Please, move along.
Yes.
Nothing to see here. Jog on.
Absolutely. Real quick, what else is been happening sporting-wise out there, Rino?
Yeah, well, this Friday, we build up to that big cricket game everyone's talking about. It's the Black Clash, the T20 on Friday, this coming Friday, where rugby players versus cricket players. Obviously, the rugby team coached by Sir Graham Henry. The cricket team's managed by Scotty Robinson, Crusaders coach. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing some of the old names, you know, rugby, Kieran Reid, Richie McCaw, Israel Dagg, the Barretts, Aaron Smith, Ali Williams playing there as well, Kendra Coxedge. The list goes on there, Fisa Tumu'u, and then you move on down to the cricketers. You got Fleming, the great Fleming, McCullum, Harris, Astle, and so many others. Liz Perry for the White Ferns, wildcard in there as well. So, yeah, there should be a bit of excitement this weekend. Friday for a lot of them. Obviously, this weekend here in Hamilton, it's going to be all about the sevens. They build up through the week. Get to meet the All Black Sevens and the Black Fern Sevens, the women's sevens team on Tuesday, I think it is. So everything we roll into sevens this coming weekend. Long weekend, mate. So just a bit of rugby things, I'm guessing, happening around, eh?
Absolutely. Also, Wakaama, of course, pretty much, I think it wraps up today up there in Lake Karapiro. I've been watching a lot of the national sprints, the Wakaama national sprints on Māori television, and you can also, they've been streaming it on Māori television as well, so you can actually watch it online, the Wakaama national sprints, and big kia ora going out to, in particular, YMP, who are doing really well from what I understand up there in Lake Karapiro. They've also got Maraikura, who are just killing it up there as well, as Harauta Wakahoi. Of course, they started on last Saturday, I think it was. It was either last Saturday or Sunday. So they've been going pretty hard out, Wakaama, from all the teams. And there's, I think, from what I remember saying, there's almost 2,000 teams all compounded up there to compete in plenty of events that are happening up Lake up there in.
Get there, come on, get there.
Thanks for that. Needed a bit of a jolt.
Oh, bro, I know you want to say it. Go on, say Waikato.
But it's some awesome stuff, and we've seen some of our national champions returning back to Gisborne. Anything else happening out there, guys?
That's where the media needs to cover, bro. We're talking about the media. Cover that stuff.
Yeah, I know. Just Māori TV.
All age groups, from little age groups. It doesn't matter what size they are. It's got all positive vibes around it. It's all based around, in our world, kotahitanga, manakitanga. Yep. Good story, man.
I know.
Cover it.
I know.
Can I suggest that because it's called Wakaama, it might be a little bit too brown for mainstream media?
Probably.
No, I'm serious.
Probably. You're
right. You're right. You know, someone should go and do some naughties, get up to some mischief in the tent, and then they bloody cover it, eh?
JT, got some guys over in Aussie that can do that. I'm sure there's plenty over there somewhere that could do something like that, eh? Help the brothers out.
There's plenty of shaggers here, brother.
Help the brothers out.
Take one for the team.
Oh, but yeah, man. What else is happening? I can't think of anything else. Oh, our man Steve Adams has been doing really well over there in the NBA as well. His team, of course, the Thunder, still pretty much up there, but they're kind of struggling a little bit. But otherwise, I think then, gentlemen, it's pretty much time for us to move on. Move on to certainly.
I'll just quickly on the basketball here touch it. Steph Adams carving up big points, big games, breaking records left, right, and centre. The Breakers, 15-point lead last night against Illawarra. Then lost it in the fourth quarter. So the Breakers really need to start their winning ways to stay in the finals. Things aren't going too well. I think they can only afford to lose one or two more games. If they go and lose those, that's it. Season's done. So just for the basketballers out there, not a good night at the office for the Breakers.
No, not at all. Anyway, we turn our attentions, I dare say, I suppose, to my favourite part of the show. The part of the show that we get to release our angst. And this is something that I've certainly been looking forward to over the last month or so. Gentlemen, it is time for us to
Put the Boot In!
So my Put the Boot In, I guess, is going out to the New Zealand cricket. Is it New Zealand cricket? Yeah, to New Zealand cricket. Now, I've been watching one of the games, a bit of cricket. One of the games that I've been watching is the T20 series that they've been playing, the domestic series. And I've been kind of confused, especially when watching. One of the great things is they've been playing the women's games first and then coinciding with the men's games in the T20 competition, which has been great to watch. The funny thing is, though, the women's boundary line is so much shorter than the men's boundary line. And who was it? The captain of the Canterbury team, she scored 97, I think it was, last weekend. Frankie Mackay. Frankie Mackay scored 97, just 3 short of 100 in a T20 match, which is pretty impressive. But she was saying that they need to put those boundaries back with the men, and that really is what needs to happen. I think, along with her, that's part of the New Zealand cricket's responsibilities. They shouldn't have moved those boundaries in the first place. That's what I reckon. So there we go. That's my put the boot in to the New Zealand cricket.
Put the boot in.
Yeah, and I'll put the boot in, mate, to some of these big business owners out there who supply Wi-Fi. You know, always good to be on the Wi-Fi, everything like this, so you can go and sit down at your local shop or wherever business and have a bit of a coffee or something to eat and go on the Wi-Fi, check your social media updates, your statuses, everything like that. But now you need to, businesses, take a look at yourself and put some blockages in there. More, and in particular, porn sites. All right, they've had enough of people going to porn sites while they're sitting there having a latte. So businesses, I support the strong support public. Block some of the sites that people can access on your Wi-Fi. So I'll put the boot into some of those businesses.
Put the boot in.
What a spoil sport. Anyway, my put the boot in goes to this tosser of a councillor from New Plymouth, Murray Chong. He says he finds it embarrassing or whatever to sing the anthem of New Zealand in Te Reo Māori. Well, Murray Chong, it's not our fault that you're possibly, well, actually definitely vocally challenged, or that because of your privileged ignorance you can't pronounce our beautiful kupu. So Murray Chong, you can sod off your dipstick. That's mine.
Put the boot in.
Yeah, it was interesting when I saw that break out over the week, man. What is interesting is when it first, I can remember when it first started, I think it was Hene Wehe Mohe at an All Black Australia game here in New Zealand, and she was singing, and she only sang the first version, I mean the Te Reo version, and that was it. And I guess it kind of seemed kind of awkward at the time, but nowadays, AJT, nowadays it's almost expected. You get both of those versions.
And living over here, it just, makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up to, all the rest of it. It always brings tears to my eyes when I hear it in Te Reo Māori. It's just a beautiful thing. Like you say, when it was first rolled out, 20 odd years ago, however long it was, a lot of the crowd would stand there sort of looking awkward because they didn't know the words and whatnot. But these days, mate, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
To see that the majority of the crowd is singing both versions.
Absolutely.
That's the way it should be. I think the Donny Brash Brigade will be will be definitely against this sort of thing, but he can follow Mr. Chong and sod off as well.
I think he was forced to apologise, if I can remember correctly, from the mayor of Taranaki. He was forced to apologise. Well, I'm not sure if he was forced to apologise, but I do remember seeing some segment of an apology coming out from him anyway. Hey, Rino.
Yeah, it was rather weak in substance. It had something like, I'll continue to call it as I said, which was an election promise I made, blah, 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 to the constituents of, New Plymouth.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you dickhead.
I agree. So, yeah, blocking those sites, Rino, they should block those sites.
Yeah.
Is there not enough froth on your latte, bro?
Fair enough.
I was thinking, hell, put the meters coming up and find something and this one popped up on the screen. That'll do. What I was going to talk about is actually what JT talked about. I couldn't remember it all of a sudden. All of a sudden I saw businesses port. That'll do. Okay. Roll with it. But no, I didn't even realise. I've never been down that line, and this is true too. I'm not lying. I've never been down that line to access those lines in a shop like that. I was thinking, hey.
So you've never called a fake taxi to the back room casting couch?
Fair enough.
I I better check my lattes next time.
I think so. Anyway, gentlemen, it is awesome to get back on board with you guys here 2019 full-time. Great to have you back. I hope you've enjoyed your holidays and looking forward to a cracking year. Rino, it's awesome to be able